Now let's go to our routes file here, auth. Now you can see we have just one route here, but as our application grow, you will have many routes here. And here at the moment we're doing pretty much nothing, right? We're just sending this message, which is just one line of code. But as your application grow, you might have so many things to do here, so it can grow to 10-20 lines of code. So it grows as your application grows, because you will be authenticating the user, validating the input, you might be querying the database, finding the particular item from the database. You will be doing so many things here, so your code grows very quickly. So instead of writing everything here, we can move this function to another file, and we can simply export from there, import here, and use for whatever routes we need. Let's move this and put in a controller. So controller is just a concept, don't get scared if you're new to it. So just like we have routes, we're going to create a directory called controllers, and in controllers we're going to write all these functions, and we export from there, import here, and simply use in any of these routes. So let's give it a try. So let's copy this second argument, which is a callback function, and instead we can write something like so message. So we can create this function. Let's create in a controller. So here in the server, let's create a folder called controllers, and in controllers we can create a file called auth.js. So here we have to create this function, right? So let's do that. Export const so message equals to, now you can paste whatever you cut from here. You had a callback function, arrow function, so you just paste here. Okay, now you can see this function, this variable now has the value of this function, so that makes this variable a function. So this so function, so message, this function has been exported from here. Now we can import that here. You can see, let's import controllers. So we import so message from, one step up, we go to controllers/auth, we import that function from there, and we use here in our route. So nothing has been changed, right? So whatever we have here, the show message carries the exact same value we had earlier, which is a callback function. It has access to request and response, and we are sending the response here. So nothing has been changed, but you can see our project is much more organized now. So we have the entry point, which is a server. We are auto-loading all the routes. So we have all the routes here, and each routes will have the controller function, which will would do the heavy work. For example, sending certain responses, creating something and saving in the database, all that stuff. It's much more simpler to understand the workflow in the server. So we have the routes, you get request to routes, and you process that in your controller functions. Now let's make sure everything is working. Let's go to localhost 8000, and yes, everything is working. Happy New Year from controllers. Okay, so it works. Beautiful.